Hi, in this video, we're going to talk about the diamond problem in multiple inheritance. And despite the word diamond, this is a very bad problem. So far, the multiple inheritance that we've seen is it's not so bad, right? Now, we have purposely avoided something uh, up to this point. What is that? Well, that is the top half of the inheritance hierarchy. Right? We haven't put the base class file that contains the common properties for all of these media files. Now, so let's try to add this back in. How hard could that be, right? All right. So here is I define the file class, and the initializer takes the creator creation day and the size. And in this the string method, it prints those attributes out. Now for the audio, it now inherits from file, and it has to supply the file. Then the init method with the creator creation date and a size. So as a parameter to the initializer, it has to have those three pieces of information. And then after it calls the super standard init method, then it creates the duration, right? So far so good, no problem there. And same thing for pictures. Picture file also needs the creator creation and the size, and it calls the super then the init method with those parameters, and that's obviously the file standard init. And in the picture itself, it creates the width and height attribute, and that's that. And we can instantiate an audio file and a picture file, no problem, I hope. And there. So so far. So now let's bring in the video. So the video, the initializer, it needs these three pieces of additional information. So that's fine. We add that to the initializer. And again, just as before, we'll call the audio.init and picture.init methods explicitly. And they accept the three additional pieces of information. So we'll pass those along. So that looks fine. And now let's actually try to instantiate a video. And I'll take that out and let's run it. And we have an error. And the error is, let's click on this. And the error is in audio.init. And so we were expecting this to call, well, super is should be file, so we're expecting this to call file.init, which takes three parameters to creator creation date and size. But the error is complaining that it's missing two required positional arguments, which is width and height, which is the initializer or the dunder init for picture, right? That's the one that wants width and height. So what in the world is the audio dunder init doing by calling the pictures dunder init method? That is quite bizarre. Now, we won't be really able to understand its behavior until we talk about something called, you heard this before, MRO, but at least we can explain why this inheritance hierarchy is causing so much trouble. And that is because both the audio class and the picture class, they both inherit from the file class, right? And both of their dunder init method are trying to call super dunder init, which is the files dunder init. So when the video class inherits from both audio and picture, and in its dunder init method, we really want each of its ancestors, file, audio, and pictures, each of their dunder init method is called once, and hopefully in the right order, right? However, when the video's dunder init method, when it calls audio dunder init and picture dunder init, and both of them call super dunder init, then we'll call file dunder init twice. So we don't want both of them to call the files dunder init. However, if we are instantiating only audio, then we want the audio is dunder init to call the files dunder init. And if we are instantiating the pictures class, then we want the picture dunder init to call file dunder init. So we are in quite a mess of a situation here, and it seems there's no way that we can make everybody happy. So this is called the diamond problem, or to make it sound even scarier, it could be referred to as the diamond of death problem. Now, I apologize for my illustration here. It doesn't quite look like a diamond, but if you imagine these lines instead of 90-degree angle lines, if they're just straight lines, then this would definitely look like a diamond. Okay, and the diamond problem is really caused by having common ancestors between multiple base classes, right? So here the problem is both audio and picture, they serve as a base class for video. However, both of them inherit from another class. And that is the root of the diamond of death problem. And this is the simplest of the diamond problem. It actually can get a lot worse, and there are just multiple common ancestors here, and it's a real mess. But anyway, so this is a problem that's only exists in multiple inheritance, right? If it's a single inheritance, we'll never run into a situation where we have common ancestors. Now, Python supports multiple inheritance, and it actually has a pretty elegant, I would call it, solution to the diamond problem. Now, it is a little complicated, so we are not going to talk about it now. We'll wait until towards the end of the quarter to introduce that concept. And again, it has something to do with MRO. Kind of just to put things into perspective, the languages. There are languages that do support multiple inheritance. They kind of fix the diamond problem in their own ways. And some languages simply say, this is too big of a mess, and it's multiple inheritance is not useful enough to have to deal with this mess. So they don't support it. One such language is Java. So then you would ask, then until we understand how Python really deal with the diamond problem, are we giving up entirely on multiple inheritance? Well, the answer is not quite. We can still utilize multiple inheritance and avoid the diamond problem. And I'll show you one way to do that in the next video.